Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to go ahead and recap this week and update you guys on my planner. So I had planned to get a Sterling ink cover, something that would fit in my Sterling ink notebook from 2023. And I remembered I had the standard TN and I threw it in here just on a whim, and I realized I ended up really liking it. I know it doesn't quite fit, but I prefer the borders around this, and the TN cover, this is Midori by the way, the TN cover will protect it, and that's the main goal, is to protecting the notebook itself. Because during the summer we love to go on Jeep rides and camping, and it's just nice to be able to sit this down on my lap and not worry about it getting dirty. So anyways, I had added this sticker since last time I saw you guys, and I believe the sticker was on here already. This is the Sterling ink mauve notebook from 2023, I believe. And I just have a pocket here, and it has superfoods and then some stickers. And I don't remember where I got this, so I'll try to find it and leave it down below. These are just some extra papers I have in here for memos, and then I have some stitching. I'm trying to learn how to stitch, hand stitch, so I printed these off from Pinterest and threw them in here. And last time we left off, we were here on Tuesday, June 24th. We can zoom in a little bit with you guys. So let's see. I remember recapping this with you guys, and I had to throw this June 2025 sticky note I printed off from Planner Monkey Co.'s freebies. I have a whole printout of them, and I realized this one was cute, and I thought it was kind of cool over the diagram I had last week. So if you wanted to see the recap of this previous week, go to my last video. So since then, I threw in some things that I love, like just a journaling page, and then just like a memo list and some declutterings. So then Wednesday, June 25th, it was the new moon in Cancer, and I focused on doing some chores, and I ended up taking a nap that day. I guess I was really tired. This day must have been a little heavier because I wrote down some reminders to myself, and I said stress is a signal to slow down. I believe I heard that from somebody, and I don't remember who, so I apologize. So I ended up really just focusing on resting and trying to, what's going on a lot here, which was from the diagram from the previous day. I had a lot going on my mind with the state of the world, and I needed to kind of check in with myself here. So what I did on June 25th, and I like to listen to the energies of the astrologers, so that's probably why I threw in the new moon in Cancer. And what time I woke up. So this day I woke up at 7, this day I woke up at 5, and I ended up finally getting off the gel polish from my nail that was stuck last time. I finally got it off so I could repaint my nails. I was just going over the top of the gel polish, but I stopped being lazy and I soaked them off finally, and I felt kind of free. It's hard to have gel nails because for me, I like to change up the color every week, and I don't have that type of money to go in every single week just for a new color, so I don't get them too often. So let's see, I must have been watching a lot of planner content, and I ended up going to taking a family friend to the VA because he was getting a procedure done and he can't leave without a driver, so I drove him home after. Ended up being a really fun day, and I'm reading a journal style, and we'll go into what that is down the road. And I went through a whole chapter like while I was in the waiting room waiting for my friend. I forgot. I accidentally backed up into my husband's car that day, and I didn't feel anything, so I didn't think I did. I just happened to look up right in time, and it looked like it was a centimeter away. I ended up finding out that I did scrape it and put a small dent in it, so we are lucky that he is a body tech, so he can fix it with some PDR work, so that's kind of nice. So I have a membership through one of my favorite YouTubers on here. It's content about celebrities. Because my old YouTube got shut down, I'm trying to figure out how to go about getting that membership canceled, because I can't go into that YouTube to cancel the membership, and I want to pay for the membership on my new YouTube, and it's still charging me for the old one, and yet I've been trying to reach out, so we'll see if they get back to me. I feel like it's really hard to get a hold of these authoritative figures over social media, so we'll see. If you guys have any tips on how to cancel a membership through YouTube that you don't have anymore, maybe let me know, because I'm still being charged. So this day changed, obviously the layout changed. So I decided to bullet journal this day, and I must have just not felt like writing a whole lot. And that's one thing I love about having kind of like a bullet journal, is you can switch up the layouts and do this on days where you're exhausted. So I did document that I went on I was definitely tired. I had an hour nap, so that's good. So let's see, it was payday. I was watching a Weirdos Field Guide by Molly Roberts on YouTube. So cute, go watch it. I had 3 cups of coffee. I was so tired. I don't drink that much coffee unless I'm like really drained. And my family friend called his appointment. So he had a post-op appointment, and he said it looked good. Then I had taco time with my husband for lunch, and then I sell some supplies on Mercari, so I got a sale, that's nice. And then we also went on a dinner date as well. We're kind of going out a lot for food, because where we live, it's surprisingly cheaper to go out and eat food from a restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant, rather than try to get all the ingredients and make it yourself. I'm sure some of you guys can relate, maybe not, I don't know. Let me know how the economy is in your community. I'm sure we're all having a great time with that. And then I had a new makeup idea, so I kind of drew out this. I'm so bad at drawing facials, like anything to do with the face, eyes, nose, mouth. I don't know why I struggle so hard. I should probably just practice one day. But anyways, I tried a unique makeup look because of the inspiration from that Weirdo Field Guide. Molly's trying to show people to be different and be unique, and I felt I definitely needed to do something different, but it was still me. I don't want to just copy and paste other people. I've never been like that, so. But that inspiration led to this new makeup look, and I've already done this look twice, and I ended up loving it so much. So I'm glad I documented that, because that'd be the first time I ever tried it. And then I was really into this song, Both of Us, by Taylor Swift and B.O.B., so I wanted to document that. And then I threw on a little drawing of my outfit, which is really tiny, but I was wearing a crop top and a skirt that day. So yeah, I was getting out of my comfort zone. So shout out to Molly Roberts for that inspiration. Then this is the Titan. I had watched a documentary on Ocean Gate where the 5 people had sadly lost their lives due to the submersible trying to attempt a dive when it was not the best material that was used to make the submarine. I found it on Netflix. I can't remember what it's called. Probably just Ocean Gate Titan. I don't know for sure, but I took some notes on it because I wanted to remember, and this is the carbon fiber hull, which is the reason why it ultimately imploded and those people lost their lives. So that was really sad and tragic, and I wanted to write that down because that was a significant event from last year that we seen on the news and the newspaper and all that, so I did want to document. So then it continues back here. Again, just they made, like I said, they made another hole just the same, full knowing that it wasn't working, and the CEO went with it anyway. So it's a very tragic story. I hope you guys go on Netflix and watch it, because people need to realize this, the culture of this is spread out all over our nation, and I have personally dealt with a CEO who acted similar to this in the way of narcissism or conflict personality, where they just don't want to admit that they're wrong and they think they're righteous. So it's deep, quite literally in a few ways. So anyways, that's the Titan. And after I documented that, I just kind of went through what I ate, and that my partner was helping our friends with their Jeep, and then I read a little bit while he was working on that at the shop, and then I went home and did a few things for the house, around the house, and then I did, after watching this, I was kind of like, that's like, I need something else. You know how you watch something scary and you like have to put on Disney Channel or something? I was like, I just need a different vibe. So I rewatched Twilight, which is also on Netflix this time of year, so that worked out. So then I was planning like ideas for the next week because I felt a little overwhelmed. So this was kind of like a memo page of things I wanted to remember for the upcoming week, and I think this page turned out really pretty. I like the color scheme. So then on Sunday I did a lot of tidying up, which I wanted to make like a really pretty spread for this day. And so because it was Sunday and the sun is yellow, I decided to go with yellow, and it ended up being perfect because we went on a Jeep ride, and I have these stickers of little bees. Well, on our Jeep ride we had a bunch of little flies that look like bees come into the Jeep. Thought that was fitting, and I got to enjoy so many of the plants and the wildflowers. If we had showed up like this weekend or even next weekend, I would have missed a lot of the flowers that bloom so early, so I'm glad we got to see that. And then I did some simple decluttering, and then yeah, we went up and enjoyed a trip to the lake, and the dogs would not leave the lake. They kept jumping in and swimming around and not wanting to go. They had so much fun. So I do have two dogs. One's Nova and one is Jasper, and they just had a great time swimming. And then that leads us into the next week, which does start on June 30th. But the way I want this planner to be is I don't mind if there's a day like after the monthly page, it's still June 30th, but I want the July to catch anything that week. So like even if July started on a Friday, I still would have had it be a Monday start from June. So I did do a little July layout, and I'm going to put something else here probably for memory keeping, but for now I thought this was like fitting for summer. So then I did a weekly layout, and again I ended up loving this color scheme, like orange and teal green. So it looks way better than my previous week, which I said like was kind of bland. So I wanted to spruce it up, and I think I did good. So I just put my schedule on the left side for work. I do a memo keeping of things I need to do and then highlight it when I do them on the right side, and then I go back into my dailies, and this has been working so nice. I really love it. So I'll probably be doing another weekly layout tomorrow. So Monday the 30th, I tried to get, oh my goodness, so my clients have this dog and he is super scared of me and I don't know why. He's so cute though. He's like a beautiful golden little, almost Pomeranian type of dog. I think he's Pomeranian, poodle, or poodle and Shih Tzu, something like that. But he gets super nervous around new people and he will bite your ankle. But I've been working with this client for like 2 years, I believe, at least, and this little dog is still scared of me. He hasn't gotten used to me. So I brought a treat for him and tried to give it to him as like an offering, like a peace offering, right? No, he wants nothing to do with anything that has to do with me. No, he just wants to hide. This was the day I was craving extra covers for this notebook because I didn't want to just carry it around like this. I wanted it to be clean and safe, so I'm really glad I remembered I had a TN standard. And at first, I was like, I know this is not going to fit, but then the border around it, I don't know, like to me it's like cute. I don't mind that. It's not flush. Maybe it's because I like the personal planners too. Like I don't mind that it's not like completely flush with the actual cover. I don't know. It works. I'm not going to cut it, so love it. But if anybody knows how to clean the TN, let me know because I don't really, I'll have to like Google search how to clean leather. I have used some TN covers in the past, but I don't know what I got on here, but it's like maybe from when we went to breakfast. I laid this down on the table and I don't know what it picked up, so probably some kind of butter, I don't know. So yeah, that day I was looking into a bunch of covers for this planner, and then I was feeling really irritable that day too, so I kind of documented a lot more in this day, so I get way more wordy this whole week. And yeah, on the bottom I just kind of recapped a little bit of the month and what went on. So I want to do that at the end of the month, but I still want it in the daily because I'll know to just flip through to the end of the month and do like a little mini recap. But maybe next time I will put in parentheses like recap, June recap. Okay, so then we get into July 1st, and of course with all new things, I decided to do a tracker for a goal that I had of either eating vegetables, working out, or both. So if I get enough vegetables to eat that day, I will mark the date on top, and if I do both, I mark top and bottom. If I don't do either, I won't put anything. So yeah, after 4 days I fell off, so hopefully I can reboot that soon. Does fruit count? Should I write it if there's fruit? Because then I have fruit like every day. I wrote down a few things from an astrologer's point of view, like whenever they do like a energy reading for astrology, I try to put up a memo of, hey, watch out for this, or be mindful of how you're speaking, that kind of thing. So I put careful with how you speak, personal care, and prosperity. 4, 5, and 7 are the upcoming dates of the week to kind of have the focus of that on. After I had work that day, I felt like really overwhelmed still, like just heavy, and I wanted to do some retail therapy to just move past it, and I know that's not always the best way to go. But I went thrift shopping and I just picked up a few household items, a couple of blouses, a towel, oh, and a drawstring bag. I was looking for a drawstring bag on Mercari and ended up finding one for cheaper at my local thrift store, so kind of glad I went there. And then that night I also ended up searching for another Midori TN, and a lot of the used TNs are sold. Has anybody noticed that? Are TNs in right now? Like, am I on track with the trend? Because like, I don't care to do that, but cool if I am. I did end up buying another Midori cover after finally figuring out it was Midori, not Moterm. I was getting them mixed up. So this day I was doing some mid-year goal planning, of course my dishes and laundry, and we had visited our family at their campground, which was really fun. I ended up finding a lot of wildlife plants and I went to the library that day and was trying to figure out what plants you can forage in my area, and I took a picture of the book because I really want to order it. It just has a lot, and I didn't realize how many poisonous plants there are in my own home state. So yeah, I really want to get that book. But it was fun to actually go out into the campgrounds and look around and see what I could identify. So that was cool. And then on July 3rd, see how I just split this up? Again, a different layout. I didn't have too much to write on the 2nd, not too much to write on the 3rd, so I just merged them together. So this day I had so much energy for some reason. Maybe it's because I took a nap that weekend, I don't know. I had a few goals in mind, of course, and one of them was cleaning up my planner / vanity room. I started with my vanity and I ended up cleaning for hours and hours. Like, I had so much energy. I got a lot done. I'm so proud of myself. I pulled every drawer out. I cleaned out every drawer, reorganized everything I had, all the products, all the stationery, all the makeup, all the things. So I really, really strived to get as much as I could done with having so much energy that night. So I ended up probably going to bed at like 11 that night, or 11:30. And I was still trying to keep going. Like, my partner's like, dude, it's bedtime. Like, it is bedtime, let's go. And then it was the 4th of July and I ended up designing this with the inspiration for my shirt. And let me bring this closer to you guys. I thought that was so cute. I love like some abstract / boho-y designs, and I wanted to show you guys this because it ghosted a little but didn't really like affect the page, so I'm really grateful. That looks so cool. And I used this watercolor brush pen set from Staedtler. Yeah, those work wonderfully in the Tomoe River paper sterling ink from 2023. So I don't know how they work in the Hobonichi weeks, so, or even this year's Tomoe River paper or Sanzen paper or whatever it was called. I'm so sorry guys, I'm like blanking today. Okay, so yesterday was so much fun. I am surprised that with my work temporarily I get to have Fridays and Saturdays off, so I'm hoping down the road that'll coincide with my YouTube schedule, my upload schedule. So this one totally lacks some color. I might have to throw something in there, but I didn't want anything to take away from the 4th of July design. So I did have to work on the 4th of July, but I volunteered, and I decided it would be such a treat to bring donuts and express my love and importance to my job and celebrate the holiday with my clients. So I brought them all donuts. And then that day I also got to play checkers and finally win against this client who's extremely good at checkers. So he's taught me a lot, but boy oh boy, I have struggled to beat him at checkers. I mean, how many years has he had? Many? How many have I had? Like 2, maybe 3. So I was listening to Toby Keith that day too, because I believe the 4th of July is a difficult time for me and my personally, because my family had always had reunions in Utah, and we had a relative pass away, and after that those reunions kind of stalled to a stop. So the 4th of July used to be one of my favorites, and now it's just kind of mid for a holiday for me. But thinking of the lyrics by Toby Keith, I just really loved his quote. He says in the lyrics, it says, "Freedom brought to you by the courtesy of the red, white, and blue," and it honors, veterans and those who fight for our freedoms of the days of now and the days of tomorrow and the days of past. Not that I really want people to fight, but that's how we got to be where we're at, and I'm sure we can do better in the future. But it's kind of I have to have a new relationship with the holiday, so it was a better year is kind of all I'm getting at. And our friends finally got home from their trip, and we all got together and watched the fireworks together, and I think that was a lot of fun. And our community put on such a nice fireworks show, and we got through the fireworks without any smoky season, if you know what I mean. So thumbs up. And then yesterday, I had a lot going on, and I was surprised to wake up early because after staying up late for the fireworks, I thought I was going to sleep in. So on this day, I ended up going to the city near where we live, taking my friend, and we did a whole lot of shopping and visiting and all this. So that was a fun day. I had a lot to do in that morning though, so as soon as I was up at a certain time, I think it was 9 o'clock, I was like, no, I have to get things done. So I went straight to my to-do list and accomplished as much as I could. And I did finally ask for help. I don't like asking for help when I can do things myself, or when it doesn't really, like, the person helping me doesn't benefit from helping me, technically. But ultimately they do, because it takes off some overwhelm and stress. So I did ask my partner for some help that day, and he did awesome. And it took a lot off my shoulders, so I was really appreciative. And it was so much fun to hang out with my friend. It's been over a week or so since I really got to talk to her. We don't text a lot. I don't really, like, when we get together, we have so much fun that you forget you have a phone. And that's, to me, like, the best friendship you could have. So every now and then we'll text if we need to, but for the most part, our relationship is in real life, which kudos to us. And then this is today's. I will say I had pre-planned a few of these pages because I wanted to get into my goal groove. And on here I was listing out some of my goals, and after I've accomplished them, I've decided to highlight them. So pink just means the category of the goal, and then yellow means I got it done or I picked it up, and then green means it can be an ongoing thing to be mindful about. And teal was just because I needed, like, when the world gets heavy, the best thing for you to do after, like, realizing you need to change is to laugh. So I made sure to highlight that in a completely different color and circle it, so making it the center of everything. Then I left a few pages so I could do my Sunday daily and then possibly a weekly on the side, but we'll see, because I might just go over here and do my weekly here. But yeah, that's this week's recap, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for next week. I hope you guys have a good week ahead, and happy planning. Bye.